Hi, I'm John. This is the egg, and you probably already knew both those facts. It's Saturday. I'm tired today. I'm not going to lie. I got some bags under my eyes. Not looking great. I don't feel too bad. It was just a late night last night. I was down at the Calgary Humane Society helping out with Pajama Midnight Madness. A little project of my wife's. It's the second annual. It was an amazing event, as always. More cats coming in than going out, unfortunately, because people aren't smart and they don't spay and neuter their animals. And there's a myriad of reasons why people return animals to the shelter. Some of them are just makes the hair on the back of your neck go up. How cruel and callous people can be. Animals aren't disposable. It's not like a fucking handbag that you just pick up and decide, well, I'm done with this and throw it away. There's actually, I'm going to use some strong language this morning. Doc thinks I should anyways. He likes it when I talk dirty. So there's this douchebag. I wish I had his name. I really want to talk about him, but I can't do it. I don't work for the Calgary Humane Society. I'm just a volunteer. But I want to share this story. So the guy, he's got a 13-year-old cat, and maybe he'll see this and he'll know that he's the douchebag I'm talking about. He gets 2 kittens from the shelter, so far he's doing good work. Well, the 2 kittens don't get along with the 13-year-old cat. So what does this guy do? He surrenders the 13-year-old cat because he likes the 2 new kittens better. He likes his new models. So he gives up this 13-year-old cat. If you know anything about a shelter in the Humane Society and how it works, people, unfortunately, you can't help this. I like cute little furry things too. When they go into a shelter and they start going through and looking at all the pods where the cats are, they see the kitties, and the kitties reach out, and kitties can pull at those heartstrings. The 13-year-old cats, not so much, because people go, wow, I'm going to invest in some animal that's not going to last, maybe another year, maybe 2. Cats can live till they're 20. But, it's in the back of your mind, and it's the way we are. It is, the reality, and life is kind of cruel sometimes and sucks. I'm getting off track of what I really want to talk about this morning, but it's just, hey, you know what? Be smart. Put your ego in check. If you have an animal that's not spayed or neutered, ask yourself why. Do you feel macho because your cat's intact and it's out there doing things in the world because you don't bother to keep it indoors either? It's a lot of heartbreak. It's a lot of tragedy. And I tell you, being connected with the Calgary Humane Society, I get to see it firsthand and how it affects the people that work there who give their all. And I'm telling you, there is some days, it's really tough. My wife comes home every day and I know what she deals with, and they have to make really tough decisions. And I don't think it needs to be that way. Anyways, I hadn't intended on getting so much into that because what I really want to talk about today, as I noted in my blog, is stuff that's on my mind is love and death. It's pretty auspicious to put those two together. But there's a reason, and there's a connection. And, as we're moving through this whole world towards our eventual end, because it's inevitable, we're going to die. Just a matter of when. We don't know. I think, the whole journey of getting to that eventual end is why we're here and how we do that. What got me thinking about this today was I read the obituaries every morning. It's part of my routine. I've got my coffee. Excuse me. I sit down. I don't actually subscribe to the paper. I read it online. And yes, Calgary Herald, I would pay for the subscription if you all of a sudden shut the site down, because I like the idea that it's not wasting paper. And it's a great way to get my information in the morning. Anyways, one of my routines is to read the obits. I know it might sound a little creepy. There's a reason for it. It has nothing to do. I have a fascination with death. It's not an obsession. It came about more because at my age, I was starting to miss funerals of friends and acquaintances, and people's these are funerals that I wish I could have attended for a lot of reasons. To pay my respects, obviously, to catch up with people that I haven't seen in a lot of years, because, this is one of those times where death can be a celebration too, of bringing friends together to remember somebody that's passed on. What got me thinking about all this morning was this couple that live in Calgary, and I'm going to talk about them, and I don't know who they are, and you won't know who they are, and maybe somebody will. Edwin Washbrook and Joan Washbrook. They were in the Calgary hospice here, and Joan passed away on August 23rd. And 4 days later, Edwin passed away. Now, I don't know if you've seen The Notebook. The Notebook's one of those movies, and I'll say this, I cried. I love the idea of love. I think it's just one of those things that as we move along as society, everything's, the technology and information, and we want it now, and, people's attention spans aren't there. And I'm thinking it must be harder and harder for younger people to cultivate good relationships. And I'm speculating here because I'm not young, so I don't know what a 20-year-old thinks about in the idea of love, but it seems to me like it's something that would be a little harder because we want it all, we want it now, we don't really want to work towards it. And I look at a couple like that, and they're such a strong connection. Sorry, I'm even thinking about it, it makes me emotional. Here's a couple that, they left together. They left this planet together. Their connection was so, what? And it probably wasn't all good. It isn't. I know people that are in long-term relationships, and there's ups and there's downs, and you have moments of doubt. But I think those people that remember why they're together and why they love each other generally work through those problems. And Anthony Robbins really got me thinking about it. Now, I wasn't a big Anthony Robbins fan because I really didn't understand his whole shtick. I'm thinking, okay, motivational speaker, whatever. The world has thousands of them. I've seen him on TV. Big smiling guy. He's happy all the time. I want to punch him out. There was a time in my life where it was a little darker and, But we grow up, we mature, our priorities change. The way we look at life changes. So I'm watching this inspirational coaching thing that Robbins is doing with this woman. Her name's Lindsay. Terrible life, And I guess it's all perspective, right? We all have our moments of great crisis where we think life is awful and, oh, why me? And I'm being dealt some really bad cards. And we use that as a crutch to justify bad behavior and a shitty attitude. And I watch Anthony Robbins. Guess what? I'm not prone to huge outbreaks of tears and emotion because, well, I'm a man. I'm not supposed to be. Anyways, yeah, it's a ridiculous notion. I'm watching this Anthony Robbins coach training, and I'm by myself, and the tears start rolling down my face because I'm going, wow, the guy really nails it. He really knows how to reach out and sort of open you up. It's like he pulls it all out and says, man, deal with it. What does he say? Pain is inevitable. Suffering, you don't need to suffer because once you realize that pain is inevitable and everybody's got pain and everybody's got problems going on, you deal with it and then you move on. And he talks about human needs and how important it. Anyways, I'm not going to get into all that because go to my Facebook page. I post the links that people share with me. I really want to thank Valerie for, she keeps posting some amazing stuff, and also Sylvie, because they're both connected into this whole thing and, how we need to move towards sort of this happier place, spirituality. And I look at some friends out there that, they're a little lost right now, and I can relate to them because I was there too. And we're not really thinking about the future and how important it is to build relationships and to have people in your circle as you get older. Because I'm telling you, one of the most depressing things I see, and I don't want to mention anybody and who the connection is or how the connection is, but a guy, he's in his 60s, and he's living out the last days alone in a hospice because he didn't culture his relationships, and he kind of drove everyone away, and it's a really sad story. Because I think at that point in your life where you're moving into your final years, you want to have people around you. You want to have sort of a center where you can find a little happiness and joy before you pass on into the next life. Just my thinking. Want to share it, and wow, this is I never know where the egg is going to take me, and little heavy. Anyways, men are from Mars. Women, well, you don't understand us, and we sometimes don't understand you. But you know what? All it really comes down to is just talking. Because people that, couples that make it 40, 50, 60 years in marriage, there's a reason they made it that far. I mean, it's just work, right? And I'm sure communication, everybody's got their own way of doing it. Anyways. I think I touched on everything I want to touch on this morning. I don't know how long I've been talking for, but thanks for tuning into The Egg. If you've got anything you want to say, any feedback, feel free to post it up. Say what you got to say. If you want to put a video response up, that would be even more awesome. Tomorrow, I'm going to get back into the groove of my soapbox, and I'll be picking on somebody. I don't know who it'll be. So thanks for tuning in. Bye.